Good morning. It actually was warmer than expected. We all slept pretty good last night. More worrying about getting cold than actually being cold, which is good. But it's still raining, still damp. And that's where kind of the danger comes into play. Like day after day, your gear is accumulating moisture, not insulating quite as well. So fingers crossed that today's the last day of precipitation. And then tomorrow we start getting a little bit better weather. And then the days after that are supposed to get a little bit sunny. So that's good. You can get stuff dried out. I'm just gonna go do some morning business and then we're gonna hit the trail. So we're hiking. The name of the game today is creek crossings. We have at least half a dozen creek crossings, and I probably shouldn't even call them creek crossings. It's a full-on river. Probably, I don't know, 10 to 15 meters wide and moving pretty good in spots. So that's gonna be interesting, as well as the cold and rain is going to be another factor today. I opted to wear my the polyester long sleeve shirt that I bought in Jasper underneath all my hiking clothes, just to try and keep my upper body a little bit warm, and that way hopefully I don't get quite as cold today, especially with all the creek crossings and less survival hiking. The one thing that will be keeping me warm is that I've got a 40-kilometer day today, so probably be walking a little bit fast, and that will definitely help with keeping warm. And Blaze was mentioning that the weather is supposed to improve today and tomorrow. Oh, you get a good look of the river that we're going to be crossing 4 or 5 times. Not small. Semi-major creek crossing of the day. This is the Upright Creek to warm us up. Ugh. I'm graceful, you can't tell. So it's about knee deep, not too bad. The other ones might be a little bit bigger. It's bigger rivers, so could be deeper. We hit our next set of creek crossings. So it's a little bit braided here, so each little channel isn't quite as deep as if it was all in one main channel. So that's why the crossing's up here, then we'll continue heading west. Even though it's day 2 of it raining and being cold and being wet, I'm trying to just still appreciate the trail, have gratitude for being on the trail, and enjoy the day. It's actually a really cool area that we're walking through. It's totally different than almost any other part of the trail. We're in this river valley, walking through bogs and fens, and like, seems like perfect moose habitat. Hopefully we see a moose. That'd be really cool. It is called Moose River, I guess. That just hit me. Kind of a giveaway. But that'd be really nice. Yeah, we're just following this river, crossing it a few times. Not a bad day. Not a bad day. Just walking through some clouds and fog, and they're lifting up and exposing these beautiful snow-capped mountains. The thing I am worried about for today, though, is staying warm tonight. My quilt has absorbed a lot of moisture and is not operating at full efficiency, and same with my sleep clothes. And then the campsite tonight is apparently not a very nice one, and is right in a very wet area, which is just gonna compound the moisture problem. So yeah, that's the one concern for today. I'm warm right now and the hiking's good, but camp could get a little bit sketchy. And we got our widest crossing so far of the day. This might be our last crossing of the Moose River actually, but we'll see. We definitely have more crossings after this, but not of this river specifically, I don't think. So we've been hiking and following the Moose River for pretty much the whole day. And you guys remember what the Moose River was like earlier in the day. This is what it turns into once you kind of follow it further up the mountains. So just a cute little creek. And then you can kind of see behind me, the sun's starting to poke out. How does it make you feel?
I'm so happy.
She's been singing for the last like 20 minutes while the sun has been slowly coming out.
Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
As we gain elevation to get up to Moose Pass, it's getting colder, windier, and a little bit snowier, but some nice views of these mountains. So there's Moose Pass. We're gonna be continuing along this valley likely, and then popping over, and a super snowy mountain behind it.
Oh wow. Whew.
So we made it up to Moose Pass. A lot of snow up here, but it's beautiful. The meadows, these kind of alpine meadows with big mountains around are just epic. And then the creeks flowing through, really nice. It's cold, but it's beautiful. There's a good peak right there. So I just dropped Blaze off at her campground. I'm heading another 12 to 14 kilometers to another spot because I got some big days tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. So don't want to get too far behind, but yeah, it was probably the first and last person that I hike with on trail, and it was just awesome having the company, especially the last 2 days where it's been miserable out. Let's say it's been miserable out. Views are nice, but we were able to kind of keep each other's morale up, and that was, yeah, made for the start of Section F, a really good start to Section F. So thanks, Blaze. Hope you have a good rest of your trip. We're gonna be carrying on and hitting probably a couple pretty big creek crossings, and otherwise I really don't know what the next 5 days have in store, because there's not a ton of information. A lot of people stop in Jasper, so there's just not a lot of information for these sections. Fun update as I just come down this hill behind me is that my shin splints haven't really been bothering me since Jasper. They're a little bit aggravated on the road walk coming out of Jasper, but then the next day and then today, I haven't really felt it at all. So that's really good news, and will hopefully allow me to push a little bit harder and faster and get these longer days done in a better time, so that I'm not getting to camp super late and I can just relax and do some reading. Second last river ford of the day. It's always a little sketchy when you can't see the bottom. Don't know how deep it is. She's flowing. She's flowing. Knee deep, not too bad. I think because it's so cold, we're not getting a lot of melt coming off the mountains, so the creeks aren't quite as high as they could be. So I'm about 1.3 kilometers from the campsite. Apparently from a river crossing that I'd be doing very quickly here, from there to the campsite, it's very, very wet. And then the campsite has flooded in the past. But I heard from someone that there's a rainfall warning for this area. So if it rains a lot overnight and the campsite floods, that's not a good scene and not something that I want to be taking part in. So I'm in this area. I'm gonna camp here, leave no trace. It'll be like I was never here, and then move on tomorrow. I feel bad not camping in the designated campsite, but also safety first, right? So we're gonna set up just kind of right underneath this tree and enjoy the views, because it's actually a really nice spot and dry and no risk of flooding unless the water level rises like 5 meters. Overall, good day. My feet have been wet all day and very cold because I don't know, it's probably a dozen or more creek crossings, river crossings, and then like another 20 or more little stream crossings where my feet were getting wet. So my feet, I'm wet. My rain suit's wet. Some of you have asked, why don't I just get more waterproof gear? And honestly, when it's raining all day and you're walking through wet shrubs, there's really nothing you can do unless you're wearing like a full dry suit, which would just get way too hot. Well, not on days like today, but it would not be practical. Looks like those rain clouds that I was talking about are starting to roll in, so we'll probably have some rain overnight tonight, but tomorrow 50-50 that it's going to be a nice day. We're going to be in the Alpine a lot of the day, so I'm really excited for that. We're going to be walking some ridges, and if it's a nice beautiful day, then that'll be perfect. I'll be able to dry out some stuff. We'll get some really nice views. Looking forward to it. We'll see you guys in the morning.